You're listening to the Level Best Network.
This is the INTERCOT Insider Live, episode number 113. The INTERCOT Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, INTERCOT's official travel agency, and the Disney Vacation Experts, and by the Official Ticket Center for tickets from your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. And we are live, not only live, but really live this time. Not just live to tape, or live to Skype, or live from Skype to tape, or one of those things. We're actually live on Facebook now as well. We've promised for years, we've been trying to do this sort of thing, and we finally figured it out. With me tonight, I've got Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Hello. It's the nation of Canada, represented by one half of the dynamic duo.
One half. The other one is watching right now.
Is she? Oh,
Yep.
Hello. Hello. Jason, you know him. You love him as Figment.
Hi there.
Howdy.
I am real, despite many rumors.
He is not a figment of your imagination.
He's a bot.
He's a bot. Oh,
We're still waiting on the test results for that.
And from what appears to be the balloon bubble suite or something in Florida, Cindy Giacomo. Hey, Cindy. What's happening? Hi. Good to have you here. So, we indeed are live throughout the show. We'll be looking to your comments, your questions, and things that we're talking about. We'll get you interacting with the crew here. We're very much excited to be doing this. Of course, recording to audio as well for all the folks who don't want to make the switch or can't make it or just want to take it along with them. We'll have that available on our podcast feed as well. But otherwise, we're going to do what we do best, and that is kind of jump right into Disney news and information. And a certain member of the podcast crew was actually out and about recently and got to see some, what was it called, Cindy? The holiday?
It was Christmas in July, and we saw parts of two Christmas tours, the Holiday Delights tour, and the other one is called the Yuletide Fantasy. So we had a fun morning going backstage at Disney on parts of two different tours. We did not do the entire tour. The Holiday Delights tour is actually a 6-hour tour. So we just got a little
double Gilligan's Island, man.
It is.
Wow.
It is for sure.
There's a seriously 6 hours?
It is a 6-hour tour.
Wow.
It starts, they don't have the actual start time on the sheet they gave me, but it's an evening tour too. It starts like in the late afternoon to evening.
Wow, that's crazy.
I will say that tour, obviously you're going to expect it's not going to be inexpensive because it's a 6-hour tour. It's $279 for that one. You do have to be, before I go into the details, just so people aren't like getting excited once I start talking about it, you have to be 12 or older.
Right.
They did say they're not like IDing you, but it definitely, there's a lot of backstage on both of the Christmas tours, so it would not be appropriate for young children. So it's $279 a person. It includes the 6 hours of the tour, and they also provide a meal at the right now it is at the Whispering Canyon.
Okay. Wow. I mean, that's pretty extensive. Like, the only other things that I can think of that used to be that long, was the one where you did the 4-park tour, where you got to see every single park. And that was crazy long. So
yeah, and this one right now it's 2 parks. So I'll give you for our guests, I'll give you kind of a little bit of what the highlights of the tour is, and I'll tell you what I saw. So you go with the host. One thing actually that I thought was interesting that I did not know, and maybe I've never paid attention, but the tours are run by Adventures by Disney, not by the Disney cast members. So it's Adventures by Disney runs all the tours, and there's an Adventures by Disney host who's going to be taking you along. You get to go backstage at 2 Walt Disney parks. It's Epcot and Magic Kingdom that you go backstage and learn how they bring their holiday customs to life.
Right.
You get to meet the gift and event decorating and support team who decorates the castle and learn exactly how they do that. You also get to go to the candlelight processional. It's a special, not a special showing of it, but you have special treatment at the processional. You get a headpiece so that they can talk to you about what's going on and you can get more information. And then you go see a holiday finale at Illuminations, of course, and get to go see that special. Plus, remember, you had that dinner in between. So, I mean, I will say, because you guys know I am usually the first one to complain about extra money. But based on just the little snippet that I saw, if you're the type of person who really wants to know how all this stuff works and get these extra details, I think it's a tour that's probably well worth the money for what's in there. So they pick you up in a coach bus. You go and you take the coach bus around. You know, they provide everything you normally would. Like first there was water. It was a hot day, so there were towels, though. Obviously at night, probably in the fall, it probably won't be hot since this was Christmas in July. We had a little extras. You go into the backstage areas, and again, it is age restricted because when we went into the first backstage area at Magic Kingdom, you have to wear safety glasses. You have to have closed-toe, closed-heel shoes because you're going into the areas where they actually do the work to create things, and their own cast members have to wear the goggles all the time too. So that's everybody has to do that. So what we got to see is we went into one of their fabrication buildings where they showed us, it was really cool, where they have like all different props for everything, not just the Christmas stuff, because you walked around, there were cobras for something, there were pieces for Toy Story Land were in there.
Wait, did you say cobras?
They were cobras. I don't know what they're for, like two big cobra heads that were probably 5 feet tall.
Oh,
and
wow.
they're like labeled
Jungle
cobras.
Cruise?
I don't know.
Indiana Jones of some sort?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Whether
Maybe, yeah.
maybe they pulled them out of there, you know, since they're doing a little refurb, you know. No more.
As you would expect, everything is like super organized. Everything's labeled with what it goes and what it's for. So the part of the tour that we got to see is they had one of the construction guys who work on lighting the castle come out, and they actually have a mini sample castle that you get to see, and they show you how the netting works, and they explain how the lights work, and it was really very, very cool. One other additional note for anybody who plans on going on any of the tours: anytime you go in a backstage area, you are not allowed to take photos. They do take photos of you, and I'm going to go look for my photos tomorrow, and if they're not horrible, I will post them on Instagram. Because they do the photo ops, and you get a special ID to go pull your photos after your tour, and they take about 24 to 48 hours for them to be up. And I just didn't look today.
You at least get something of your experience backstage.
You do. You get for the backstage areas. You do get something, and on each tour they had. I think we had our picture taken 3 times, depending on where you were, maybe 4 times. We got one like right with the little mini castle.
Right.
So they talk about stuff like, here, let me pull up my notes for a second, just to give you an idea. Like, if you're a Disney nerd, like many of us are, they tell you things
just a few.
About,
just a few.
Like that the castle.
We're on a pod.
Yeah.
Right.
Just in case you stumbled on here by accident.
That may be the understatement of the evening. Yeah.
Exactly. They talked about, this was actually really cool, which I never even thought about. Just like the weird things, like they said, well, how they're nets, which I didn't realize, which makes sense. They're not just like wrapping lights around. They're like, if you've ever had those nets that you throw over your bushes with lights. Right. So they're nets like that, but each net has a number so that it goes on a very specific part of the castle, and depending on if it's going on blue or beige, the netting is a different color so that during the day the net fades and you don't really see it.
And they're shaped perfectly for the weird shapes of the castle. That's neat.
Well, that's actually really interesting. I wouldn't have even thought about that. It's kind of the small detail that goes into the Magic Kingdom, actually all the parks as a whole.
Just like cool random things. Like another thing that was really cool, they talked about the energy, because they use all LED lights and how much, so I'm going to ask you guys, how much energy do you think it takes to light up the castle every night compared to a load of laundry?
Kilowatt per hour?
A load of laundry?
Compared to a load of laundry. How many loads of laundry do you think use the same amount of electricity?
Washer or dryer? Because dryers use more laundry or use more power than the washer. I'm going to say, to do the castle, you want to know?
Yep, to light it up for the whole entire evening. How many loads
For
of
one
laundry is the
evening,
equivalent
I'm gonna
amount of
say
electricity?
300 loads of laundry.
All right, do we all get to guess?
She's over. So
Wait,
I'm
I'll
over.
help you. She's over.
We'll play the game. Jason?
Right, Jason.
I'm going to go with the Price is Right $1 equivalent on that.
You're going to say one? One? All right.
One.
I'm going to guess it's very low because
So somewhere between 1 and 300.
300.
I would 5.
Jason wins with the dollar method, though he had the wrong number. He was closest without going over. It's equivalent to 3 loads of laundry.
All right.
To light that up every night. Yeah.
Rats.
Oh my gosh.
I lose.
Now I wonder then if they'll switch out all the lights on Main Street USA, because I feel like that would use up a lot of energy, and they're the old incandescent bulbs.
Sorry, Chris. Christmas at 10 loads.
Well, some of them are gas lights too, aren't they?
Well, I don't think they're real gas lights anymore. I think they're just
Did they change that?
little electric ones that flicker.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. People's guesses are coming in.
I know.
125.10. It's deceiving how many it takes.
It was 1 load.
Yes.
How much does it take to run
There's 3.
Haunted Mansion all day and
3
all?
loads. Sorry.
That they did not tell us, but maybe that's later on the tour. So that's one of the things. Another thing on that tour is because you do get to go to the candlelight processional. So we learned about the fireworks for illuminations and the different type of fireworks, and we got to see the inside of a firework, and they talked about the different types and how they explode, and they talked about how people get chosen to be in the choir for it, how they do their planning to get on stage, what the emergencies are if a student, decides that they're sick and can't sing anymore in the middle of it. So anything that you want to know deep and dark about the holiday events at Magic Kingdom and at Epcot, on this tour you're definitely going to find out. And again, that one is $279, but it does include your dinner. And the first showing is on Monday, November 26th. And I guess I'll get maybe the list to you to put in news, Jason, with the time. Or it's also out on the Disney Channel too, but on the Disney station. But I can send you guys the dates. It runs from the 26th through the 20th. And they don't do them on the weekends. They're Monday through Thursdays for that one. So, but again,
Cool.
that one was very cool. Then the next one is the Yuletime Fantasy, and they of course reimagined that one slightly for this year. We saw part of it, not the entire tour. And again, this is also another. It's a 12 or above, and this one is about a 3.5-hour tour. So figure we did our tours. We started our tour at 8, and we were done around 12. So we didn't see all of this tour either. But it's $139. And again, it's was very cool, the parts we saw on this. So on this one, you'll see how the holiday services cast members use themes to decorate up the resorts. You get to go into the floral department and see how they create the floral arrangements and how Disney Gifts works and all of that. And then you get to whip up an edible treat over down at Disney Springs at the pastry shop, which is a lot of fun. Now for us, so when we went, some of the highlights on that is we went into the event building and we met one of the people in the event department, and she walked us through how they do their flower arrangements and talked about the holiday arrangements and the gifts that you could order and how all of that works, how their shipments come in. So again, if you want to know the deep dark of how everything works, it's a great tour for you. We went through all the warehouses where right now for us, when we saw it, all the Christmas stuff is there right now. So we saw the Christmas stuff where it's stored before it goes up. Now, when people start actually doing the tours, the Christmas stuff's going to be up. So they're going to see different things than what I saw. They're going to see, they're still going to learn how everything works, but the stuff that's going to be back there is going to be like Halloween. For us, Halloween was starting to get pulled out because they're getting ready to set it up soon. But Christmas was fully there. But you'll get to see how they organize everything and these big, huge, just aisles and just like up to the
a lot
ceiling.
of Rubbermaid totes. It'd be like under my basement stairs.
Not quite,
like
but
Something kind of like that.
Are they
Something like
clear? or are they,
Color
different
coded.
colors?
They have like little racks that pull out, and then
Okay.
they're clear inside, and then they have stuff hanging in the aisles too, and you get a photo op in there too. And again, I don't know if it'll be exactly the same because of different things. For us, the photo op is they had us in front of all this Christmas decoration stuff. I'm
Right.
thinking they will probably keep that up for their photo op since it is a Christmas tour.
Right.
But any of that can change. Now, one thing that is very cool is at the pastry shop, and I am not going to try to say the name of it. Maybe one of you could. It's the one that begins with an A, and I'm going to mess it up right now because I don't have it in my head.
Nathan knows these things, right?
No, at Disney
Disney
Springs.
At Disney Springs.
I don't know how you say that.
Shop.
No, it's like Amaretti's? Something like that?
Amaretti's, yeah. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Amaretts. It's
Somebody
French.
out there, somebody out there, tell us if Carolyn's correct. Again, I should know this because they said it a million times, but okay. I'm gonna go with Carolyn. So you get to
Smart
go
move.
there, and you will meet the person who runs it, but you also will meet the two chefs who design all the cakes and all the treats. And for our group, again, it was July, so it was Christmas in July. None of the Christmas stuff is ready because one of the things that I learned that I didn't know is that gingerbread has to ferment. So you can't just like make gingerbread, which I had no clue.
I've never made it, so
I've never made it either. Well, I've only made it like you buy a gingerbread mix, which obviously isn't quite the same thing. So yeah, gingerbread
I've
has
made gingerbread, but I've never had to let it ferment. I mean, maybe that's the fancy way of doing things, but
they make.
Well, you didn't do it right.
That might be why theirs is so good.
Yeah.
And it's a fermented honey dough. They talked about, yeah.
Huh.
So we did not get to make anything with gingerbread. Instead, they had a macaroon that we got to decorate as a little unicorn. And I don't think I put that picture up on Instagram. I'll put that picture up tomorrow too. It was a lot of fun. The guests who are actually doing the tour will get to make a special gingerbread treat to bring home because will be Christmas then. This particular tour, one thing that's different about it is you do start at Epcot. You end at Disney Springs, and then you will have the option to take the motor coach back to Epcot, or you can stay at Disney Springs.
we've got a dog playing with a bone here.
Some weird noise in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Cranking around on the hardwood floor, of course.
Although I would just like to point out how we all just nonchalantly went past the fact that Halloween is, just right around the corner. It's the end of July.
Yeah.
Right.
Justin caught that.
Yeah, it's whatever. And
starting up in August, so that's actually, I will tell you, on the merchandise one, they were talking about how they're already getting ready to send the Halloween stuff to the stores,
Right.
and that it's coming. Christmas they're still working on. But so again, with the little pieces of the tours that I saw, I had a great time. It was a lot of fun what we learned, and just like stuff you wouldn't normally even think to ask questions about. The all of the cast members are so informative. They're all people who are really excited to be giving the tours, and the tour guides themselves who took you from place to place really loved it. You get to have, of course, one of the cool little headsets where you can hear them in your ears. You walk around, so it was very nice. The bakery was really cool. One thing that I didn't realize that probably many of our viewers already know is you can also do a cake decorating class already at the pastria. So I would recommend that based on my little experience there. The people there were great, and it was just a lot of fun. And I think that cake course would be good. Now, I will show you a couple things. Some of the stuff may be different on the actual tour, but you get little things always. I don't know if I can hold this up close enough. So the floral department gave out some pixie dust.
For those listening to the audio portion, just pretend you're seeing these.
Yeah, if you're seeing it. And then there was
We can describe it.
Little mints.
Oh, it's a little box.
And it says, yeah. Again, it could be different during the regular thing. And now this is last year's pin. I'm trying to get it up so that it focuses for you guys. Can kind of see it.
The
Yuletide Fantasy.
Yeah, it's a new pin this year. This is last year's pin we got on the tour, and it's going to be a special surprise pin. So we're not allowed to tell you what it's going to be. You got to go on the tour and find out.
Oh.
Look at you, keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets. That's right. So this
Towing the company line.
That's right. We want to be asked back.
Yeah, I know. This is true. So you did get merch there. You did get some previews on the merchandise as well, and you posted some of that, didn't you?
I did. Let me show you one other thing really quick, though, John, because they did ask us to promote something going on right now, which is here's another pen. Let me see if I can see it. This is their Gardens of the World tour. And they have only done a spring one before, and they decided to add a fall edition tour. This tour is $85 a person.
Okay.
And you don't actually go around with a regular Disney cast member. You go around with one of the Disney horticulturists. Right. And you go through the gardens. But because it's going to be a fall tour with food and wine, the fall tour is going to emphasize a lot the food aspect of the gardens and the different types of foods that grow and how they're used in food services. And they said that there will be some yummy samples on that tour. So.
Ooh.
They also wanted us to know that their tour is better than any other tour at Disney. So they said theirs was the best. So go on it. They want you to go on it and see it. We didn't get to see that one, but they were very enthusiastic about their tour. So.
But it's the best. You haven't seen it,
yes.
But it is the best, which is important, which is nice. So kind of going along the same line of the Christmas time sort of stuff, Jason, you mentioned something about new Christmas time overlays. Is there something going on in regards to that? And
yeah, so there's going to be two for the first time at Disney World. There will be two Christmas overlays now. We can pull up the details on that. One will be in Toy Story Land. It will be the alien swirling saucers. So we decided the name is.
So
we'll get a Christmas overlay with I guess Christmas carols or Christmas music, and then at Animal Kingdom, the Up new bird show there in Asia will celebrate the Indian Festival of Lights, which I think is Diwali.
Yep,
I'm probably
Diwali.
mispronouncing that, but
no, that's right.
So there'll be another wintertime holiday overlay they'll do with that show. So
and then they're still doing the Tower of Terror thing.
They are still doing the Tower of Terror thing. Yes. They mentioned that to us during events that they are changing that one up a little bit. They're going to be adding some special laser effects to the Tower of Terror.
Lasers.
That is the that's the show on the outside.
Right.
Yes.
And they're adding lasers.
Right.
They're adding sharks
that
are going from the tower out to enhance the background, and then they're going to be lasers going towards the tower too. So they have again, I will see if I can make it good enough to post, because they were showing us everything on a screen.
Yep.
That was several feet away from me. So I took a picture of the screen. I don't know. I'm trying to look for it right now. If I can make it good enough, I'll post it to Instagram, because it's kind of
that cheap
fuzzy.
website would give you good equipment to go these events with, it wouldn't be a problem.
Patty, you're right. It is.
Well, hey, next time, so you won't be able to see it on my phone. So I'll post it.
Okay.
And I just have to bring up, we were talking about how many totes it would take to contain all of the decorations, and Canada is smart. Jennifer says for the Halloween ones, I'd say 999, but there's room for one more.
Oh, Disney.
Oh, dear.
Very good. Joke. That's funny stuff.
Come for the information, stay for the jokes.
You're good.
Yeah, good one.
So, anything else to report, Cindy? Or
all right, let me see. Otherwise, on entertainment, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam is coming back again.
Okay.
We talked about the tower and the lasers. They're going to have Santa Goofy there again. They did say one thing. And let me see who was talking. I will tell you who it was talking for. It was Tom Vazana was talking about Hollywood Studios, and he wanted to recommend that people know that. Well, he wanted us to let people know that the Frozen Christmas sing-along is actually different than the regular sing-along. It's not just a sing-along the whole time. The beginning starts as a sing-along, and then it becomes a production number. that is a lot of fun, and so he would like people to go and check that out. Echo Lake is going to get a lot more decorations than it has in the past. They had like little ornaments in the water, and those are going to be expanded. At Disney Springs, they're going to be adding more trees to the Christmas tree trails. They had 950,000 people went to that last year. That's pretty
Really?
impressive.
Almost-
Yeah, 950,000. And then they'd like to see more this year. There's going to be 25 trees, and they're adding a Haunted Mansion tree,
Cool.
which is sounded very cool. There's a Star Wars tree where the garlands are going to be lightsabers. There's a 4 Parks tree. And then for any of you who have been following on Instagram, I mentioned a little bit with Christmas merchandise and Nordic Winter, which is the big theme for merchandise. There will be a Nordic Winter tree. And there's going to be a Mickey and Minnie nostalgia tree. And then one thing they're doing for anybody who went last year, they're going to be selling stuff, obviously, that are on the trees. But I guess last year you had to go into the stores and find it. They're going to have little kiosks near the tree to make it easy to pick out what you like from the tree and bring it with you. Let me see what else.
Ooh, speaking of decorations, the picture that you showed of the little Polynesian, the guy that's
Wasn't that adorable?
That was cute.
What was that?
There was a picture that she posted on Facebook. Maybe you can find it, John. It was we call him Shruggy, the little shrugging guy from the Polynesian. He's a little Christmas decoration. He's super cute.
I'm looking, but I'm not finding it.
All right, you keep looking.
All right.
It was really cute. That was there are 2 pictures with that. They're doing resort themed ornaments this year, which I mentioned. I love it when they do anything resort themed. I think it's so very cool. So they had a sample of 5 there. There was a Minnie and Mickey and the Mary Blair style for the contemporary. There was a teacup for the Grand Floridian, the one that Carolyn just talked about for the Polynesian. They even had one for Art of Animation, which was kind of more of a flat tile with different animated figures on it. And the Animal Kingdom one, I think, was a mask, to go back and look at the picture. So that is something new that they're doing this year. And they were very, very cute. They were adorable.
Interesting.
Yeah,
hey, Jason, I'm going to boot you to the lobby for 2 seconds. So stand by while I do the picture. All right. All right. There we go. And now.
Yeah.
Can we see that? All right.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So the one in the back is the Art of Animation one, and then the Polynesian one, and of course the Animal Kingdom one is on the front.
What's the board it's sitting on that says Merry and Bright?
It's like a little cutting board.
Oh, cute.
It's very cute.
That is cute.
That is very cute. Okay. Let's bring Jason back. not keep him in the dungeon for too long. There we go. And
it was very pleasant, actually.
Was it?
Top-notch bar service.
I know. It'd be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom in the private chat window. I could just throw you into the lobby for a little while. Do that.
Hey, things will learn as we do it. I'm trying to think if there's. That's most of it. I said the merchandise. It's out there on our Instagram and on our Facebook page. I put up. That was just a small sampling, but it was all very cute. If you're into plushes, the baby plushes are adorable. From my friends who are still very into Dooney and Burke, people were just going crazy over the new bags because the last 2 years they've kind of done the same Christmas pattern. They just reversed the colors the first year to the second year, and this is a totally new bag. So I'm sure anybody who loves them, there was only one silhouette there, but that'll be out there. The new dish set with the Nordic pattern, they have runners, all of that stuff. What else did they have?
So you're saying I'm going to have to save up some money for my next trip.
If you like to be Christmassy and Disney, save up your money because it's a lot of different stuff this year. Just, they reimagineering, the merchandise line to hit some new trends.
All right.
Yeah, kind of expected that, but I think the merchandise game is coming back up again.
It is. For a while it was junk, but they've come a long way.
Yeah, I think we're making advances in that sector again. So I just going to put in my request. I still want a contemporary resort polo. Please, could you make one? I would appreciate
that. Would be cool.
Like
Oh,
a
the
golf
one other
shirt?
thing that
Yeah,
I
like a
did
golf
miss.
shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, just
Yes,
like a
and-
pole, with just as the contemporary on it.
Yeah.
They
This
want
would
to
be
I've seen
remind.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope.
It had, like
No?
the little
Couldn't you
icon
just make
and
your
it
own?
said contemporary resort under
You
it.
have a shirt company,
Well,
John.
that is
Couldn't you
true.
just
You know,
make your own.
what's wrong with me? I do.
I would like a contemporary ornament of the building.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I'd like that too.
You were
Oh,
saying
Justin-
Cindy?
it has like a little
I don't know.
moving
I was
monorail.
just looking at the comments now while I was waiting. Justin's mad at me because I showed merchandise that Dawn is probably going to want to buy. Sorry, guys.
Hey, I
Um,
gotta do a quick shout out to Julie from Sweet Frog in Hilton Head, who said, "Stop! Thanks for stopping by." Apparently, she's watching the broadcast. So, just a little sidebar here. At some point during the week, I learned through their feed that they do Dole Whips,
Yes,
genuine
they do.
Dole Whips, and I did not know about that. And so I made a trip over there, and Julie and company over there. were
Okay, well, maybe
fantastic. So-
Julie and John can clear something up for me.
What? Yes, please.
Dole Whip is just the ice cream, correct?
Okay, I had a Dole Whip float.
Okay, a Dole Whip float. Now, why did your Dole Whip float have like fluorescent orangey yellow ice cream? Whereas I feel like, and it's been a while since I bought a Dole Whip at Disney, that it's kind of white colored and then maybe
White?
it is orange.
No.
No,
Well, Dole Whip
it
comes
always
in
like the
different
orange
flavors.
it was yellowy color.
Yeah, like really loud yellowy orange color. Yeah. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
I'm just crazy. I don't know. Maybe the last one that I bought was
The,
a citrus swirl.
Maybe.
I think sometimes when you get it
The lighting can be
at the
different.
park, yeah, the color varies a little bit. I've gotten it where it's been more of a like really light pastel
Like a
yellow,
pale,
and sometimes
yeah.
where it's like yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's
Put
you.
as much food coloring into the mix.
maybe it may
Yeah.
be my hue and saturation sliders in Photoshop that caused.
That too.
So yes, Julie says it was
Yellow, pineapple, no orange. Okay, so then maybe I'm thinking I've gotten
Maybe you're
some
thinking
the
of the
pastel
citrus.
yellow or the citrus swirl. I know I've had the
You've gotten
citrus
the
swirl with
citrus
the
swirl, too.
orange pop in it. The
exactly.
orange crush mixed in.
Yeah, that's
All
different.
right.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
All right. I'm confusing my whips.
No, but yeah, delicious. Yeah, so
Delicious either way.
it is authentic Dole product. And by the way, Julie shared that they're coming out with a lime whip.
Oh, that's good.
Could you imagine that?
That
And
sounds
and
really
like
good.
go get some Minute Maid lime juice and put that like the
No,
kind of
pour it with 7
what
Up.
else? Oh, see, now you're
Sprite or
thinking.
7 Up, and then
Now you're
that would be
thinking.
good. Like key lime flavor.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's coming.
Wow.
Disney won't have it, but Sweet Frog will. So,
Okay, I'm gonna have to fly to
President.
South Carolina.
So yes. Oh wait, she's gone crazy here. There's all the flavors.
What the heck? And Punap Keys lime?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Pineapple
I will
lime?
tell Julie I'm not in Hilton Head, but my kids love Sweet Frog here in Florida. They adore
There's
it.
Sweet Frog is this a chain of stores?
Yeah,
I don't
it's,
know about this in
frozen-
It's a
Canada.
frozen. It's a frozen
Oh,
yogurt
Patty
chain.
says yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
One of those places where you get the yogurt yourself out of the machine, and then you have the whole topping
Oh,
bar.
like a
So
Menchie's.
you
We
can go
have
in
them.
like really cheap, or your kids can load it up, and you can end up buying, like a $15 frozen ice
Yes.
cream.
Do they weigh it? Do they weigh
They do.
it?
Yes.
They weigh it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
in the case of my children, my daughter, who you all know, it seems that really it's more about getting as many toppings in there as she
Yeah, this
can,
much
and then letting
ice
the yogurt melt. Yeah.
And the rest is all toppings.
Isn't that the way it should be, though?
I
It
think
is.
so.
I believe. So I'm sorry I interrupted you with my sidebar, Cindy. What was the last thing
That's
you were
okay.
trying to get to?
Oh, the last thing they talked about for entertainment for the winter, which I have actually never done this, and I'm going to try to put it on my bucket list for this year, is they do sleigh rides at Christmas time.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where?
At,
There's gotta be
the
wheels.
Fort
From
Wilderness.
the Tri-Circle D Ranch over at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah.
They do sleigh rides.
Okay.
It's got to have wheels on the bottom though.
I'm sure it probably does, but
It's not
Stop
it's a
spoiling
wagon
that.
ride.
Is there any snow or snope?
To glide across.
Probably, but they do sleigh rides from November 23rd through December 30th, and that just sounds like it would, no snow, but we do the best we can down here. Okay, there's just some things.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Hey, my kids won't know any difference. You guys don't even know when we do these like the Disney events or when we've done other theme park events, and they've got that fake snow coming down from the sky, or some of the other places use like to me, it reminds me of snow cone ice as snow so that they can go sledding and stuff. It's like the best thing for them ever because my kids have never seen real snow ever. And it's, so they've never gone on a real sled. They can go on a wheeled sled. It'll work.
It'll happen. I mean, it snowed in Hilton Head, so you should have just come on up here, in December. Could have seen a rarity.
You know what? You're close enough. You'll just have to message me when you have snow coming up.
Next time.
We can go up.
Yeah. Just come hang out. Yeah, you're only 5 or 6 hours away. So anyway, cool. Well, that does sound like fun. Something that if you are down there during the holidays, that would be kind of unique. What do they charge for that?
It is $84 for 25 minutes. And they do them every half an hour from 5 to 10.
Seems a little on the expensive side. I got to be a little bit honest there for 25 minutes worth of, but I would think 49 would be a little more reasonable.
Oh, here, you know what? And to close out with more information you would never know, we can ask the people who are here watching us, and you guys can guess too. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we had to do was list some things that the horses do on Disney, because we were talking about the sleigh rides and everything. But they also asked us to guess how many horses are there at Walt Disney World.
Here we go again.
So wait, we're talking
that are used in any function. So like the sleigh rides, the
walking down Main Street,
walking down Main Street, the petting zoo. How many horses does Walt Disney World own?
Okay, well, when they take people out for a big trail ride, I've seen 10 to 15, but then they've also got to have guys that are just having the day off, and they've also got to have guys walking up and down Main Street. So I'm going to say probably 20 to 25. Patty's guessing 49. We got a whole bunch of guesses here.
Hold on. Yeah, let's say 27.
I'm saying in the 20 to 30, 25.
25 final answer.
Yes,
25 is that's your final answer, Jason?
30.
30. I will say 40.
And closest without going over wins.
Okay, are we including our viewers or just you guys?
Well, you can
include the viewers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the closest, unless another one. Okay, Justin, you went over. Sorry.
It's a good answer. Those were Dalmatians, Justin. Dalmatians.
The animal you were looking for was Dalmatian.
All right. The closest is Patty with 49. However, there are 88 horses on Disney property.
88?
And I will tell you,
wow.
88. And the vast majority of us who were there for the event, everybody from the various different outfits, we all said 25. So I was with you, Carolyn. That's what I said too.
Wow.
But no, 88.
Do they have a farm nearby that they get to have the horses living at, on their days off? Because there's no way you're fitting 88 horses at Fort Wilderness. That barn isn't that big.
I'm assuming there must. We didn't ask him that. I'm assuming there's got to be a back barn, obviously, someplace.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what the ranch is, though, right?
That's what I thought.
So there's
but it's not.
I
don't feel like it's that huge.
Not a public part of the ranch.
Oh, maybe.
Because
somewhere.
It's not like those horses at the Magic Kingdom and are hanging out at the Magic Kingdom at night. They got to be somewhere.
They just roam at night.
They just roam.
Magic Kingdom.
Clip clop, clip clop.
I thought they
grazing on the astroturf around Cinderella's castle.
Yeah. No. They're just
Patty, I'm so sorry.
They take the monorail. They take the monorail over to the transportation and ticket center and offload there.
Patty, I'm so sorry.
Patty wants to win something. Would you like a bag of pixie dust?
We'll mail it to you. You'll get it in 6 to 8 weeks.
I like
There you go.
Justin's response. There we go. That was your prize.
And a strong thumbs up.
Justin says you get to listen to the best Disney podcast ever. Got to remember to read these things so the audio listeners aren't like, what did Justin say? I don't know what Justin said. All right.
But I just think, to summarize, John, I think it was a very good event. And again, I started off with this for those of you who are joining us later. I am usually very, very skeptical about anything costing money. But if this is your thing, you want to go and see behind the scenes and what happens and learn this stuff, I think it is money well spent. You know, if you're interested. If you're not interested in that sort of detail stuff,
Right.
and you don't want to go be trudging, around backstage and in through warehouses, this is not the tour for you. But if you love all of these little trivia type of things, it's for you, for sure.
I love that. I love all the backstage stuff. I think that's really fun. And I mean, once you go to Disney World a million times, it's kind of, this is something new, like I've kind of seen everything. Yeah. This is something that's like, that can wow me after all these years. So yeah, I think that's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's small groups. So, there'll be small groups. They actually said the media group was much bigger than their normal group will be. So you'll have the cast members to yourself to be able to ask questions, so when the fireworks guy was there, if you want to know everything about fireworks, you've got somebody there who'll answer all your questions.
Oh, that's great.
Very cool.
We are on the topic of holidays, and we kind of briefly touched on Halloween. And Jason has, in our little group thing, a Halloween party changes, but then the link that he put goes to something else. So, Jason, what are the Halloween party changes?
What? Hold it so late. All right.
So the link that he put in our little group chat takes us to something about a Bug's Land closing. So
preview of coming topics.
I'm interested about the Halloween party changes.
Someone wants to know what's going on.
We had a viewer ask on the last podcast, or I guess the one before the last one.
Yep.
About what is the return value for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of been the same events year over year. Well, guess what? The 2018 ones will be different.
Really?
Really. So there will be 4 attraction overlays, essentially. Although one of them is not really an attraction. It's a land. So Space Mountain will have a new soundtrack and other transformations for the adventure. Whatever that means.
Okay. Air quote,
transformations.
Like, what's
lasers,
the one
probably.
Lasers.
At Disneyland, it's Ghost Galaxy, which is, I think, really cool. But I think Disneyland's, when it did its refurb, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, it has all the infrastructure put in to do that. I don't know that Disney World's has that, at least yet.
We don't. Disney World barely has speakers. Like, you don't.
Right.
You hear the wow, 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 wow at the end, but you don't hear any music or anything. So they must have to just stick up some speakers every.
I mean,
I think they're there. The volume may just not be adjusted. So, but unless it closes here very shortly, unannounced, they're not going to have time to really do a refurb to add much. With the first party being.
Can I predict
ever? Sure.
What it's going to be? Yeah, it'll be music via the speakers. So it'll be just a soundtrack that plays for the whole thing, and there'll be some projections on the dome and stuff. You'll see some ghosts and stuff like that.
Could be.
I'm gonna guess maybe some lighting effects or something that it won't take a whole lot of time to put in. And that's the one.
Yeah, I mean they could do like lights on third shift and
they could hang a sheet over a balloon
a fan
with a fan blowing it, and you go by and think, oh, there's a guy standing beside.
Well, it's funny you say that, because one of the
why?
Oh dear Lord, what?
One of the other overlays is on Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean, where new pirates will invade the experience and interact with the sailing guests who will join the search for Gunpowder Pete. So I'm guessing these are going to be live actors
Who jump on the boat?
Who's looking for Pirate Pete? What?
Gunpowder Pete. Don't you know? I have no idea. They're just making up characters.
This is during the Halloween party specifically.
Only, yes. So that's a good
So not not regular days.
Right. So they're not going to add, extra animatronics probably that fast. Although if they really wanted to, they probably could. But yeah. So I'm guessing they're going to have live cast members on the ride now that'll interact with you.
So
I guess
are they going to turn down the volume of don't tell them, Carlos, don't be cheeking. They're just going to turn them down. This woman's going to be silently moving her mouth, and some dude's going to be standing there
moving
going,
her mouth.
Yeah.
Where's Gunsmoke Pete?
Gunsmoke. How many different names can Pete have?
Oh, boy.
I have no idea. So that's very vague, obviously. So that will be interesting to see what happens with that. The third real overlay of an actual attraction will be on the Mad Tea Party. They will add special lighting effects for a new glowing spin at night. So that seems pretty easy to add.
Bought at the local party city.
Right.
We're just going to put in green light bulbs.
That's it.
And then they could do some cool projections, I would think.
Sure.
On that, though.
I would think so as well.
And then they have become the masters of projection mapping. And then the other overlay is actually a whole land. It's Storybook Circus. Will become the Storybook Circus Disney Junior Jam. So it'll be, I guess, a Halloween-themed Disney Junior event. And they make a big deal that it'll include Doc McStuffins. I don't know, I guess.
For all the toddlers
Very
out there?
popular.
I wish I knew who that
Right
was.
now.
I'm actually kind of amazed that Doc McStuffins is still a thing and that it's still on. Usually Disney stuff doesn't last that long. Most of their shows, with the couple of exceptions, like Phineas and Ferb, they tend to do 4 seasons or 5, and then it's out. And Doc McStuffins started when my daughter was a toddler, and she's 10.
They're still making a big deal that they are at the park.
I don't even know who it is.
Oh, and then all the other classic Halloween
I
stuff.
have no clue.
All the other classic Halloween stuff will be coming back. So Happy Hallowishes will be the fireworks show and the Boo to You parade. So that part's not changing. And again, all the treat trails. This is the 25th anniversary of Hocus Pocus, I guess. But they're just doing.
I've never seen that movie.
But they're just doing the castle show again. And so,
I haven't either, Carolyn, so it's not just you.
People talk about it so much, and I know about it. I know Bette Midler has the big buck teeth, and they're all witches and weird things, but I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Really? Huh. Okay. Well,
maybe I'll make that my thing to watch this year.
I'm sure it'll be on TV.
And It's a Wonderful Life. Because that's not happening. Every year we try and get Ian to watch It's a Wonderful Life because he's never seen it.
I've only ever seen clips of it. I don't think I've ever sat through it entirely.
The whole movie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a wine and dine event.
I feel like the movie is just going to be a big depressing.
No.
See, Patty's never seen it either. Don't you feel I think it's the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes, and teacher says that when a bell rings, the angel gets her wings.
Goodness.
And I'm like, no.
What is wrong with you people? Goodness gracious. It's an American classic.
But I'm not American.
It's a story of... I know, but... Well,
it's a film classic.
You're almost
okay.
American.
There's probably a Canadian version.
Wasn't he going to kill himself or something?
Because he didn't think he made a difference. And it's a story
and then
of redemption.
What is it the story kind of like Scrooge where it goes back in time and he sees how he affected people? Is that the idea behind it?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
And then at the end, he's like, "Oh gosh, people do like me," and then it's all happy.
Basically,
at the end.
they do. They show what life would have been like without him there, and things that he had such a huge impact on the town that people, he didn't realize that
Oh,
things would go
okay. Well,
down.
that's a good message, I guess. All right, maybe I'll watch it.
No, you need to watch that. And then, have you ever seen the movie Family
See,
Man?
that's the thing, Patty. Watch it every year. Cry every year.
But
That's I don't want to cry
because it's so good.
Oh, it's a happy cry.
At the end, it is. Have you ever seen the movie? What was I going to say? With Nicolas Cage, Family Man.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen that.
It's the same movie, essentially. But
Okay.
that movie is a modern day take on It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Are you getting
All right.
it now?
I can get that. All right. I guess I
By
can.
the way, if you haven't seen that movie, that's one of my favorite movies to watch every year. Jeremy Piven is amazing in that movie. But yeah, it's kind of a glimpse. You get a glimpse, right?
All right.
Into what things would have been without you, and how many lives you've touched. So, yep.
Okay. All right. Good. And then I'll have to look up not Bewitched. What's the one we were just saying?
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus. The witch one. The witch one.
I'm sure it'll be playing on the Disney Channel over and over and over and over and over and
I
over.
will.
And whatever that other one is, Freeform now. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
Family. They play a lot of Disney movies too.
They do.
Especially
Harry Potter.
Because they don't have enough programming yet. Because that was like the Disney. That was like the Family Channel, and then now it's Freeform.
All right. So moving on from that, we've got Christmas covered. We've got Halloween covered. Let's talk about the Yeti.
the Yeti.
The Yeti is down.
By the way, if you haven't ever heard it, we actually did a song years ago called "The Yeti Is Down." It's available on Amazon.com, iTunes, and all your favorite places you get music. Just
Starring
search
Gary
The Yeti Is Down. Yeah, Gary O'Brien, who someday will get back on the podcast at some point. But yeah, Gary put together a song about the Yeti being down, and it's been down for years. So what does Joe Rhode say at this point?
So maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, he got onto the Twitterverse and sort of officially, unofficially made some comments. So a fan who was at D23 sort of called him out and said, "Hey, remember when Joe Rhode swore he was going to fix the Yeti?"
Carolyn, do the voice.
Wait, which voice?
Do the voice. Hey, Joe Rhode.
Hey, Joe, when are you going to fix the Yeti?
There we go. I was waiting for that. That was the person from Twitter, basically. Saying,
Okay.
The Twitter,
thank you.
generic
Thank you,
Twitter
Carol.
man voice.
Thanks.
So he responded. Does someone else want to do the voice for that? Yes.
Don't forget me telephone.
Go ahead.
That's Joe Rhode. Okay,
No,
anyway.
Jason, the part of Joe Rhode is currently being played by Jason. Go ahead,
Okay.
Jason.
He said, yes, still on it. So, of course, Disney fandom exploded with that tweet and took that as complete factual future
We're
happenings that, Imagineers were walking
Amen.
towards the Yeti with hammers and wrenches and
Okay.
buzzsaws at that moment.
Still on it could mean that we're just like, oh yeah, what do you think we should do about the Yeti? I don't know. Okay, well, we'll
To me,
talk
still
about
on
that
it
at our
is
next meeting.
Yeah, he's got like a to-do list. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, down here. Yeah,
78
okay. It's
on
on
the
the
to-do
list.
list. Yeah, I'm still on that. I'll get to you. I do that with my boss all the time.
The speculation is for the 50th anniversary, though, they will need something to pull people to Animal Kingdom because Pandora will be not as new by then.
Right.
So they'll want to have something new to advertise. Pandora will probably still have crowds, but it won't be something new they can advertise in 2020.
So what are we going to advertise? Hey, everybody, we fixed the Yeti.
reimagined Everest because it would not just be fixing the Yeti.
Won't everybody
There's a
just be in
rumor of
Star Wars
other
land?
effects being added. Yeah, by that park. But
What
they
would
want
the
all
other
the
rumored
parks.
effects be? Like Snope?
No word on that, but they would, similar to what they've done with some other rides here in the past, I don't know. They might do some more like projection mapping, maybe inside that cave scene. They could plus that.
That's true.
Someone I think on the boards talked about they could plus the bird up at the top of the lift that hasn't worked in probably a few years. Also, it wasn't a very good effect. It was just a bird that flew by.
Yeah. What? Really? I wasn't even aware of this effect. What effect are we now missing? Do we need to?
There was like a hawk to help give the illusion of how high up you were. There is, I think the audio might still be there on the car, but it's like this hawk cry. There used to be this like hawk that really I think would embarrass Imagineers of old, but because it just looked like it was like a plastic bird on a stick that just kind of like rotated by. Like it wasn't. This is my memory of it. It's going back a few years since it worked, but I do not remember it being very, very impressive and borderline almost laughable. But it was right where the tracks were all turned up. There was a bird that flew by.
I wrote on that.
I don't remember that either.
Video of it where somebody caught it and then they play it back in slow motion. It's like really far up there and really tiny and just kind of goes and around.
Yeah. So it was to help with a little more forced perspective, basically, at the top, because they're trying to show you being up really high at this peak. So it was an attempt to add that effect. Mm-hmm. I think they just turned it off because it didn't work that great. I don't think it broke. So rumored maybe he might do some other effects. It was also interesting that he posted that someone challenged him that the Yeti is the wrong color on the ride. So really? When you also fix it, can you make it a Yeti and not a Sasquatch? Why is it brown haired and all the merch is white? And
he had a good answer though.
Yeah, and he basically defended that, saying if Yeti is real, likely to be cryptically colored a la the snow leopard. If real, it lives where food is, in forest, not snow. Sherpas say brown.
Yeah.
So he actually responded
maybe
to
there's
that.
Different breeds. Maybe if you're a Yeti that lives in the mountain,
there's
then
a Highland Yeti and a lowland
forest Yeti. That's right.
Maybe he's just a dirty Yeti.
Yeah, he could be gleaming white.
Crawl around the cave. Yeah.
He got a little mud on him.
Pictures of a Yeti? Seriously? I mean, I don't know.
They're in the queue.
I know. I mean, but it's like, really?
Which actually is one of my big problems with that ride, by the way.
Which is what?
It's terrible storytelling to have an actual picture of the Yeti in the queue. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that, but they can go look for it. I won't tell you where it is. But in the queue, there is an actual picture of the Yeti finale just in the queue.
Really? Standing in the cave in that pose and everything?
It's a close-up of, I believe, the Yeti's face.
I've never noticed
just
that.
In the queue, because, that's apparently foreshadowing.
Hello, Jimmy Horn of Disney Nerds Podcast.
Hey, Jimmy, what's happening? I've never noticed that either.
Yeah,
Jason. I don't think I've ever looked that close. There's Yeti poop
I think
or something, and that's what my kids always look for.
Yeah, I'll see check next time.
I feel like you kind of rushed through that queue a little bit.
Yeah.
So
to be honest, I probably am always taking the fast pass.
Yeah.
Right.
And I probably missed part of it.
That's what we usually do too. It's been so long since I've spent a long time in that queue, because even when the regular line isn't that long, when you're walking along, it's one of those things everybody walks along at a good pace to hurry up and get on the ride. Because I guess like you were saying, Jason, maybe they should be updating or doing something, because it's fun, but it hasn't changed ever.
This is true. Well,
so that would be one opportunity for them with that. So that's the rumor, because of everything they announced at D23, the big expo. People did point out there was really nothing in it for Animal Kingdom. So this might be it's one thing to draw people in. Their goal for the 50th evidently is to bring big crowds to all 4 parks as part of the celebration.
And remind me, are we expecting all of these new additions and everything? They will be done by then, by the 50th?
So they'll either be opening as part of the 50th or like the year before, so they can still promote them as new.
Okay.
Well, we will see.
Well, there's a new annual pass if you're going to be going for the next few years.
Yes.
That it's for Florida residents only.
Yeah. So Cindy can get it.
So Cindy, congratulations.
It's a very odd pass, though.
It says Florida residents can purchase a new type of annual pass, the Theme Park Select Pass.
Ooh.
This pass gives you the chance to enjoy at least 325 days of access at select theme parks and at least 175 days of access to all 4 theme parks throughout the year. Plus, from time to time, we will assess and may lift blockout dates to provide additional access.
Oh, like bonus.
So,
like a bonus day.
325 days, but it'll be like, oh, we want to go Saturday, but Saturday our pass is only good for Animal Kingdom. Oh, okay, well, we want to go to the Magic Kingdom. Oh, you can only go on Tuesday for that. Like
So they're doing selective blockout of selective park?
It's mainly the weekends that are blocked out. So
Right.
on the weekends, I think the guarantee was I probably can pull it up in my Disney experience. I'll probably show it to me since I'm a Florida resident.
Right.
But like I think on the weekends you can always go to at least one park, but it's not usually going to be a park that you necessarily want to go to. And then you get more of the summer than the regular, what used to be called the seasonal pass, which is now called the silver pass. So that's what my kids have. So my kids are blocked out right now. And I guess I can kind of see if you're not, I don't know, I can't totally see it either way, because if you go on the weekends during the school year with your kids, you're going to be limited in what you can do. But if you want to go for some of the summer before it's at its hottest, Disney is really good at knowing that school gets out in Florida in most places on X date, and 2 days after school gets out, the blockouts start.
So you've got 2 days where you can...
Yeah, so like my kids will get out of school on a Friday, and their passes are no good after Sunday. And then usually it then opens up. They can start going back like the Saturday before they go back to school, or maybe the Friday. So it's really good on totally taking summer vacation out of play and forcing you to upgrade to gold if you want to go to the summer. So if that little bit of summer is more important to you, I suppose that would be a good option. And I know John just put up that Jimmy said that, yeah, Epcot in the summer, you can't go to Epcot at all during food and wine on the weekends, which, again, I don't know. For me,
do you really want to be there?
Yeah. Unless one of you guys is coming or somebody is coming and they're like, I'm going to go to food and wine on Saturday. I want you to come with me.
Right.
No, I don't want to come with you.
No,
and they're probably, I mean, looking ahead at this, you think that they're doing this because they want to direct all the locals, like, sorry, you're not going to Star Wars Land this weekend.
Could be a little bit of that.
I don't know.
I guess
I just think that because they've got so many new big things coming out in the next few years, and a lot of locals are like bloggers, and they all crowd in on the first day because I want to be the first one to ride the first ride and get the pictures first and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they're going to kind of knock those people out so that non-locals can go. I don't know. That's my guess.
There was an upgrade option too, that wasn't there?
I believe there was, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the pricing for this theme park select pass starts from $29 a month. It can be purchased online or at any of our theme park vacation planning windows beginning July 9th, so it is for sale now. For an additional $89, you can add on July 9th to August 9th, but it's only good for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's why I'm saying, see, they're knocking out Hollywood Studios because of the new Toy Story
Right.
Land. Yeah, Jimmy's got a thing on there, crowd manipulation.
Yeah.
So
They call it crowd control, but
we're evening everything out. We're making it better for everyone.
maintaining the delicate flow.
It's all, yeah, exactly. We're maintaining the delicate flow. The theme
Now, there
parks.
is one extra thing. If you have a silver and weekday select pass, you can also do that little add-on for $89. It's just a lot of there's a lot of if then,
Right.
like navigate your way through
Seems
that.
a little bit complicated, but I mean, I'm sure it'll all show up in your app. So everything will
Yep.
be fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it was, and again, I don't know. It would actually be interesting to know, like, like, has anybody bought it yet? Who's buying it? Because I looked at it and it was just bizarre to me. Jimmy just put up that he likes Food and Wine on the weekends because it's a party, and I have to say, Jimmy, you are a much braver person than me.
You have a lot better temper than I would have.
I
Crowd
would much rather
tolerance is
take
not one
like
of my
a
strong
Thursday off
points.
from work and go and have a nice Thursday there.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna go to the beach. Thanks. I'm gonna sit by a pool. I'm gonna do something, anything other than being in those crowds. It's crazy.
You know what's funny though? We always say that, but I think at every INTERCOT event, we end up at Epcot on a Saturday during Food and Wine. Every fall.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, no, don't, let's not do it, and then we do, and then we get like
We're not
trapped.
too, right?
What's your point, Jason?
I don't know.
What are you trying
I
to
think
say?
the timing just always works out that it ends up being a Saturday, that just schedule wise.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Jimmy's from New Orleans. Okay, I've been to New Orleans, Jimmy. So I get that.
He likes
I
to
do. I
party.
get that.
Yes.
Actually, I will say I don't mind a Saturday of Food and Wine if I'm doing the events and not just like the hanging out with all the drunk people going around. If I'm going to one of the culinary tastings or the lunches or something, or the breakfast over in France, that's cool. But it's just that press of bodies around the World Showcase and only being able to walk half steps. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. Stepping on people's heels. You were saying that would show up in people's apps. So what, when you go to like update your
when
annual pass, it
If
gives you
you're
the
a
option.
Floridian, it
you're
knows
right.
where you live though.
Right.
You can go and
The
see
shadow
for
knows.
each type
It
of pass.
knows where you live.
It'll tell you if you're blocked out, not blocked out. Even like when I was there on Friday, I was looking for fast passes, and it knows that in my Disney experience, I'm the only person who's not blocked out during the summer. So when I go to do a fast pass, I'm the only person who comes up. Like it won't let me add my children. So it knows, and you can pull up the calendar for each type of pass to compare them to see what the different blockout days are, to see if you'd like this one better than that one. For us, I don't think we're going to go. I can't see why I would change to that, because honestly, my kids don't want to go during the summer. Silver works really well for them. It's hot, and they would rather be hanging out.
So that it just here's ultra segue.
Wait, hold on. Wait. All right. Here we go.
Ready? Ultra segue.
It's
The My
just in.
Disney Experience app has also just added bus wait times. You wanted
I know.
it, people? You've got it.
And my friend was there this weekend, and that's actually, she texted me. She's like, I can see the bus time. So that's
So
what
does
Debbie
it
loves
just
it.
the time, or is it like an Uber and you can see the little buses getting closer on the map? Here it comes.
I think it's just the time.
Okay.
Are they accurate though? That's the big question. Because a while ago didn't they have bus arriving signs, and they were testing?
Yeah, it was
those
like a little
out?
TV at the bus stop.
Yeah, and they were horribly inaccurate, kind of like they are pretty much anywhere in the transit systems. I mean, so.
Oh, well, there you go, Justin. The app was working horrendously yesterday. So even the
Okay.
app is working horrendously, not just the TVs.
So, I mean, it's nice to have them, but I mean,
But
if
honestly, how hard would it be to outfit the buses with a GPS thing like Uber? Like you can see, like, oh, he's coming down the road. I better get outside right now.
It must be the way they do it. I'm just picturing this like poor person at a dashboard, like calling into different buses. Where are you at? Oh, okay, let me type this in and put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that it wouldn't surprise me.
it could be.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a bus person anyway. You guys know that. So
No.
I don't know from how much I would use it, but
The
maybe it'll be
worst is
accurate
like
eventually.
you're at a resort And you're like, okay, I want to go to Animal Kingdom. Here comes the Magic Kingdom. Oh, here comes an Epcot. Okay, here comes the Hollywood Studios. The next one's gotta be Animal Kingdom. Oh, now it's another Epcot. Oh, no, it's another Magic. Like, where is my bus?
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's irritating. At the end of the night is the worst when you are, typically, you're waiting for the bus and you're waiting to go back to the resort, and 100 people are, they're shoom, 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 getting on the buses, and you're just there. And like,
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, gosh. I know. Our friend Christine.
And you're hot.
Yesterday posted a picture from the Magic Kingdom at closing, and she said it took her an hour and a half to get from the Magic Kingdom to the trams at the Ticket and Transportation Center.
It was a scary picture she posted too.
It was
I saw that.
so crowded.
Kristen who used to be on the podcast a long time ago. So yeah.
So who is with me that all I want in this whole wide world is a walking path from the Magic Kingdom,
right,
all the way around to the Ticket and Transportation
Center. You mean the path
walk
that they were
around the
supposed
world?
to create?
Yes, that they stopped right near the Grand Floridian because that's where the barges come out for the electric water pageant. Please put a drawbridge or something. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how much that would help the crowd control at the end of the night?
I can tell you what they don't want. So the problem is the unexpected consequences of doing that. If there were a way to get them there that didn't involve all those sweating folks of humanity walking through each one of the resorts and suddenly invading the resorts, this is what would happen. So everybody would start going there, and the guests at the Grand Floridian would get really upset because there'd be like this swarm of people
other way around
moving. Well, that's what I mean.
Really long way around.
Would it be?
Like go the contemporary way, but then you kind of bypass the contemporary and swing
Oh
around.
yeah, see, I guess I'm thinking you'd have to go around Bay Lake the other way, but no, you could.
I don't know.
The other way, you'd have to cross over the Seven Seas Lagoon Bay
big
Lake connection.
Little bridge or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't care how tired my feet are at the end of the night. When I've got two kids that are like, I just want to go home, I'll walk it, man. I will just hoof it back to the car so that I don't have to wait in this crowded thing and trying to get the stroller and all of that. No way.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the reason why they didn't complete it is because somebody went, well, just wait till the guest complaints come in, from folks walking by. I'm telling you.
Posted after Christine posted those pictures online, somebody wrote, I guess they're like a Lyft driver or something.
Yep.
And they said, you would be surprised how many times in one night I will get a call to the Contemporary, and people are just walking to the Contemporary, getting a lift to the TTC.
Right. Yep.
And I've done that. I've done that not because I was going to take a lift. I thought, I'm going to be all smart. Me and the kids walked over to the Contemporary, and I was going to get on the resort monorail there because even the resort monorail at the Magic Kingdom and the Express, they were jammed. So I'm like, well, maybe I can head them off if I go to the Contemporary and get on the monorail first, like over there.
Right.
And I got over there, walked all the way over, went inside, went to go up the elevator or whatever to the monorail, and the monorail was down. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for all those people that are crammed at the exit of Magic Kingdom, and now the monorail's down. Okay, so what are we going to do? So then I go outside, and I'm like, can you just please hail me, like call me a cab to the little kiosk man? And I swear I had to wait like another half hour because it was so busy. Everybody was coming over to come and get Lyft. Just a walking path. That's all I want. You can it can be ugly, chain link fence on either side, through the parking lots far around the Grand Floridian so we don't walk through the resort. I don't care. I just want a walking path. I'm so tired. I don't want to even go to the Magic Kingdom at nighttime because it's so bad. Anyway, that's my rant.
Well,
it was a lovely rant too.
But it's true though. Like, don't you agree? I don't know.
What I do to avoid that is I just hang out in the park. instead.
I know, which I would do if I'm there by
Yeah.
myself for sure. But when I've got kids that are
Oh, I
like,
know.
Yeah.
Well, then you got to leave
When
it.
I have my
You got to
kids,
leave
Carolyn, we
before
usually
the park closes.
end up taking the boat, because it's just less stressful. Even though you have to wait longer, at least
Yep.
you get on. Because I'm with you with the kids. I mean, I never have a choice because I always have my car usually, so I have to go to my car. But I think it's a hard thing with the Magic Kingdom. I think every day, get a drink.
I
That
like
would be a good
Jimmy's
plan without the
thinking.
kids.
Jimmy says,
"Hey,
yeah,
little Owen
welcome
and
to
Julie,
the
you want
wave of American
a
flavor
rye and ginger?
and have,
Yeah.
That'll
have
make
a
you
drink.
feel better."
There you go. No, but it's hard either way. Like, so, because what we were talking about, so I was over at Epcot on Friday, and my friend Debbie was staying over at Bay Lake for the weekend. She had a weekend for her son's graduation, and they were going to Magic Kingdom. And we are texting back and forth, and I'm like, she was going to be there for maybe 3 hours. And I'm like, by the time I get over there and get on the
Right.
monorail and
Yeah,
get in and get back, I'm like,
Yep.
you're going to be leaving. It's not even worth trying to hook up because it's so much effort getting in and out of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Which is sad because I
It is
think
sad.
one of the prettiest parks at nighttime. Like, it's gorgeous, but oh god, it's not worth it. I'll leave during the fireworks.
Right.
I don't care.
No, you have to. You really. That's just it. You're better off leaving before the fireworks, going over to the transportation and ticket center, watching them with the music
Yeah.
piped in across Bay Lake, and you're already there. And
Yeah, good point.
I mean, I
It's
know
a pretty
there's-
view from there.
Yeah, it is. So
It
enjoy
is. We've done that.
Or go to the outdoor Trader Sam's, grab a adult beverage, and walk out on the docks at the Polynesian.
I have
Take
to
the
tell
resort
you,
monorail around.
The
and do that
saddest
instead.
thing I ever experienced. We
Which
were
is-
crammed in, the shoulder to shoulder on the ramp to get on the monorail. And this couple, I don't know if I've told this story before. This couple, like it wasn't closing. It was like the first fireworks were done, but the park was going to be open till like 1 a.m. or something, but we were leaving and it was still crammed and on the ramp. And this couple had been standing behind us the whole time and we'd been there a while. And then they tapped me on the shoulder and they didn't speak a lot of English, but they basically were like, "Is this how we get to the Magic Kingdom?" And I looked at them and I'm like, huh? Like, I'm
What
like,
do you
no,
mean?
we're getting on the monorail to leave the Magic Kingdom. They're like, no, we go to the Magic Kingdom. And I'm like, you're here. Like, how did you get here? And then somehow got caught up in the lineup to get back on the monorail. And I'm like, no, like over there is the Magic Kingdom. And I'm pointing, I'm like, go, they still had the bag checks there. I'm like, go through the bag checks and that's the Magic Kingdom. And then they had to be like, oh, excuse me to get down the ramp. And I'm like, oh my God, they've been standing in this lineup like as long as I have. I'm so sorry. They must have got swept up. Like maybe they took the ferry over and then thought then they had to get on a monorail to then get to the Magic. I don't know.
Oh,
But they got swept up in the giant, flow of traffic. And oh God, I felt bad.
Oh my God.
Not a good impression for Disney to leave on.
No, that's not good at all. No. All right. So moving on, we've got. I guess I saw the Lightning McQueen attraction. They mentioned that at the opening of Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
So what do you know?
So is that not a lot? So during that event, they did announce it. And it's going to be over next to Rock and Roller Coaster, either in or near what is called Sunset Showcase Theater. If you ever notice that over there, it's a relatively new building they've built.
Right.
And they're not.
Well, you don't see that though. So most people don't see it because it's
Yeah.
blocked off by some closed doors back by Rock and Roller Coaster.
Right.
Unless they have them open.
Right. So they have it in that area. All they're really saying is you'll come face to face with racing legend Lightning McQueen. He'll teach you what he's learned over the years to help train the next generation of rookie racers.
What? Okay, wait. What
with
was
friends,
this building
Tow
before?
Mater, Cruz Ramirez, and the gang from Radiator Springs on his side.
I'm looking at that Sunset Showcase Theater. I'm looking at that building. You kind of see it when you're in the queue for the ride, do you not? It's kind of up and over the wall.
Yeah, if you look over the wall past the.
But what has ever been in there? I just
It was
assumed that
like was it
just-
a dance party or something?
Yeah,
or-
just hard ticket events. So there was like
Yeah,
that
they do
club
shows.
villain or something that was in there, and something else like paint something
It was
animation
it's
related.
basically overflow for the park having nothing going on while all the construction's happening.
Okay. Because when I originally heard this story of Lightning McQueen and he's going to show you all these things that he's done, I thought they were bringing back like a little miniature version of the lights, motors, action.
No, it won't be that big. It could.
No.
They could be bringing back the meet and greet because I believe that is gone.
Club
The
Villains,
Star Wars Land?
says Eric.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I think so. Yeah.
So you all know that was where for the media event they had us as the media center in there. So it's a big building that has some projection.
That's where it
on
is.
the walls and things
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, it's pretty much a blank canvas. So I
Yeah.
would imagine whatever they do in there will involve some projections of some sort on the screens and some lights and something. So
Oh, okay, and Star Wars Galactic Knights photo ops. Yeah, I've never been in that building. I guess I've never gone when they're doing anything, or I didn't know that they were doing anything
Yeah.
back there.
I was in there once a long, long time ago. They used to do extra shows in there too. Like when my kids were little, one of the Disney shows, they had like a live action version of the show, but it not like a permanent thing like Playhouse Junior had been, but they would come in and they would do a show, and we went and saw a show in there when one of the shows was popular.
Really?
But it's like in the area you wouldn't even think that it was there
Yeah.
if you didn't
Well-
go to something there.
It's only like
I'm-
3 years old, maybe.
Do they have that pathway blocked off most of the time to get back?
Yeah,
to
there's
that?
a gate
Yeah.
that's closed.
So
Okay, I
it's
think
separate
I always just
areas.
assumed that was like cast
So
member
you know where
area.
the entrance to Rock and Roller Coaster is, and they've got the Fast Pass, the one which is over to the right. Well,
Yeah.
right there's a big, kind of a big gate, and essentially that gate can be removed or put to the side, and then they allow you to go back in that area. We kind of during the media event, we just sort of
Yeah, I guess
through
I
a
always
little
just-
backstage thing. And
just assumed that was like cast member area back there. I didn't know there was actual stuff. Neat.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean it's right. Like I said, it's a building. It's pretty much just a
Right.
square building right now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that'll overshadow Star Wars Land, but it might have a fighting chance.
so yeah, we're just saying. All right, moving on to everyone's favorite Skyliner.
Yes. So there's been progress. That Ed posted a picture on the boards.
Did he? I posted something
Yeah.
during the media event. I thought.
Okay.
But
Ed shared a picture on the boards of one of the actual gondolas, which started a pretty
okay.
immediate debate
All right, here we
about
go.
how many people will fit in a gondola.
And do
There's supposed
they
to be
or
8.
don't they have air conditioning?
Based on the picture, I would say no.
Are you kidding me?
Now the picture may not be the finished state of the gondola, but they do have ultra reflective windows on them. So that may be how they're keeping it somewhat cool. But
I mean,
I don't know. There's
it's
nothing on it on that
Florida.
picture.
it just so I've
They
had.
can add it later, but
Let me
The
just
windows will open a crack.
like,
yeah, like one
have
of
you-
those
okay.
window box air
All right.
conditioners will just be hanging off the side of each one.
Well, I thought that would be actually on the top of them.
Yeah, there's nothing in the picture. There's nothing on the top. Now, I mean, like I said, we don't know the finished state of it yet. These are primarily used in somewhat cold climates for like ski lifts, but I think these are used. I think it's mostly the areas where they're used.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just throw this out there. All right. Have any of you been on a monorail when the air conditioning is not working?
Yes, and
Has
it
it
smells.
felt or smelled good?
It smells like you're at the garbage dump because there's a lot of sweaty bodies, and I kind of get panicky. I don't think I'm claustrophobic, but oh my God, I feel like when I start to get that hot and there's too many people around me and I can't move and I'm just standing here, I start to get like kind of, oh gosh, you know?
Right.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's other options too, though, because they could have like air tempering system where they're moving air through to keep it cooler. But I don't know. That's a lot of individual air conditioning units if they're going to do that.
Well,
that's a lot of stuff to maintain.
Now that you say that, Busch Gardens obviously is not for transportation, but they have a gondola system that goes around the park and it takes you over the animals and stuff, and it's not air conditioned.
But is it enclosed with windows or is it open air? So I mean, you know, if it'd be one thing if it were. And by the way, these are traversing a pretty long path.
And it is a long path. I don't know.
But they gotta have a lot of them to make it move the number of people they want to. So I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Wow.
So you know, it's not like the old days, like when it was the Mark. Was it Mark? Oh gosh, we're going through our Mark something monorails, but the ones before the current generation at Disney World, the windows each individual window had a kind of a latch and it would pop out. Now just they just have little vents at the end. I mean, and you know, as was pointed out, that they had to pull the windows out of a monorail when the AC went out. So I mean,
just recently I saw that, and it looked as though people had smashed it, but no, they actually can remove them. But oh my gosh! Whatever. This is even like it. I can understand like having a big, heavy unit on top. That's not good, but haven't they come far enough in technology that you know you can get those like little
Mitsubishi units?
Yeah,
you know?
like even
when
one of those, it's not going to take a whole lot of space to cool just that area.
They have got to be air conditioned. I can't imagine running that long a path and them not be. But you know what? Maybe I'll be proven wrong.
We'll see.
God help me if one of those things stops. Then I'm going to be panicked because the heat is too full, and now we're dangling precariously above the ground.
Oh, no.
I still have to see it actually in action. It's still just such a bizarre idea to me. It just is.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm a little concerned. I like Fred. Fred comments, I don't care if the AC don't work as long as the doors don't fall off.
Or if the whole thing doesn't come crashing to the ground, that would be pleasant as well. Or get struck by lightning.
Okay, again, on Friday, so it's summer in Florida. You know, you guys know summer. Like, so 1 minute it's like, oh, okay, little sprinkles. The next thing it's like downpour monsoon out there. Can you? I can't even imagine being up in like a little gondola going, you know, from the resorts across the highways.
Lightning storm.
Yeah. I mean, and again, they are going over a fairly long area. So, are they going to operate just fine in the lightning? Are you going to just keep running them, or are you going to stop?
I guess so. They run the monorail on lightning, right?
Yeah, I know, but the monorail isn't on like a little wire and swinging.
Well, see, I don't think these aren't really on a. I mean, it's not quite like that. I think these are all individually. If you look at the pictures online, there's something fairly robust up at the top of these things.
Does the I can't remember off the top of my head, but does the pathway traverse over water? Because I feel like that would make you even more of a target for lightning.
Well, yeah, it has to at Pop Century and Art of Animation. Their area is on Hourglass Lake, their loading platform.
Okay.
So, and the main depot is near Caribbean Beach, so I think you're going to go right over those bodies of water as well. But I don't know. I have got to believe they have thought about that in the lightning capital of the world, and what to do with this system.
They won't let people go on test track,
right, and
drive in a car with rubber tires in a lightning storm. How can you want to be on a thing with cables over water? I
mean,
don't know.
technically, they can ground the whole system, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
still,
then
though,
like
I
lightning
think,
strike,
rods.
and then the whole thing
just
shuts down.
more to Cindy's point. So in Hilton Head, the same thing has been happening over the last week. It's been raining almost every day for 10 days straight. And it'll be sunny. And then 20 minutes later, it's the
Black.
heavens have opened, and it's monsoon, and it's heavy rain, and it's windy, and then it goes back to being fine again. So I don't know. I have to wonder how all this is going to.
Yeah, I don't know. And actually, to Carolyn's point, during that time, I got, the little pop-up on my phone because Test Track, my Fast Pass, was delayed because it was closed due to the weather. Oh, that's good, Justin. That's true. Everybody else will be safe because the cars will be lightning rods.
That's one way of doing it. So,
But
Right,
anyways,
so
we got
could
about.
the AC unit under the floor? That's what I mean. If it was one of those little skinny ones, maybe.
Well, I was
like
thinking.
I said, you can see it on the INTERCOT boards. It's just a picture of the car, so it's obviously not. Also not going to be that way. Otherwise, there's going to be a pickup truck on the bottom of all of these gondolas. And that will be very, very.
That adds a lot of weight.
A lot of weight to that.
Oh, goodness.
So,
all right, guys, we got about 8 more minutes. We're going to wrap up around the top of the hour. So, what are the biggest stories that are left that we haven't covered? And if there are any listener questions, real quick. We might be
start typing your listener questions. I'm just going to mention that
or viewer questions.
Yeah, right. The pet-friendly pilot project that they were doing. You remember after the hurricane that came through, and they let people bring their pets, and Christine brought little Thor to the Grand Floridian, and it was really cute. And then they decided that maybe we would let people bring their pets to certain hotels as well, and they're getting rid of that. So I don't know, maybe if it just didn't get a good reception, or if nobody was doing it, or if maybe there was an incident. I don't know. It doesn't really say, but it was only a pilot program, and it was scheduled to end after 1 year. So maybe it was just nothing, and they just let it die off.
Either it wasn't being utilized, they weren't making enough money from it, or they were getting guest complaints. It's probably one of those three that is the problem.
It mostly seemed to be it wasn't as profitable for them to keep running it because there weren't, at least on the interwebs where you think you'd hear all the horror stories, there didn't seem to be that many. There's always going to be some, but
was there an upcharge if you wanted to bring your dog?
Yes. Oh yes, it was quite expensive, especially at the one participating deluxe resort, which I think was Yacht Club. And someone else pointed out on the boards, unless you were like quite local, it's still not that easy to travel with your pet, down there. So it's still not convenient to do that. I don't know, I've never done it. There could be some other charges with that, from an airline, I would assume. So it just started becoming very expensive. And then, they put quite a few rules. Now people were concerned that people wouldn't follow the rules, but there were rules as well as far as having to basically come back, I think, so often. And you couldn't leave them unattended in the room for full days. So it was not going to be super convenient for people who just wanted to have their dog with them there. So it probably was not quite as popular and as they were maybe thinking it would be.
I think probably.
Robert,
other than an emergency. Oh, go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I was just going to read Robert's question. When is Run ICOT this year? We are going during Food and Wine Festival, which is October. Well, it's the weekend of the 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's the Friday to the Sunday. But a lot of us are going down. I'm going down on the 4th. I think a few of you guys are going on the 3rd of October.
Is it October or November?
It's November.
It's November.
I'm sorry.
You gave all the wrong. You gave the wrong dates.
I was thinking because he was asking about this year, and I was thinking we were there in October last year.
Yes,
Sorry,
it's the weekend of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
It's my birthday weekend.
Right, November. I'm sorry.
Buy me a drink.
Join him and buy him a drink. Yes, sorry. So I'm going down the Thursday the 1st until Monday the 5th. I think a couple people are going maybe on the 31st. I don't know. on the Wednesday. But yeah, it's that weekend. We're doing food and wine. I'm kind of thinking that the weather will be a little bit nicer in
More
November than it
hospitable.
has been. Yeah, for our runs in January sometimes are ridiculously cold, and we sit there shivering in our little tinfoil blankets
Yeah, November
before the race.
should be pretty decent,
November should be good.
especially early morning when these go
Yeah.
off. So, yep, yeah, exactly. So, what else we got? We got a couple more minutes, 4 more minutes.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
Let's see. I don't know. There was a couple things about on the West Coast. Space Mountain got a little a queue upgrade. They did some changes there, which that is easy. You can find pictures online. They just kind of jazzed it up. And a Bugs Land now has the official closure date for out there. And if you didn't know, they're switching a Bugs Land to be kind of a Marvel area.
Right.
interesting. We can't not do the podcast and not mention ice cream churro sandwiches.
Oh, well, yes,
Probably
that's
not.
true. We do
There
need
is?
to.
Yeah,
Let me
let me
just say,
mention
then
that.
I will close this off. A Bugs
coming.
Land is closing on September 4th. There you go. So if you're going to California after September 4th, there's no more Bugs Land. And I wish that they would bring all those rides to Rafiki's Planet Watch at Animal Kingdom. Wouldn't that be fun? Then there's like lots of rides.
Well, one of the rides is going over to Pixar Pier, I think we mentioned. It'll become the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, what's currently Flix Flyers. But yes, the other rides do not
Like
currently
the
have
choo-choo train and stuff. I think that would be cute at Animal Kingdom, but
They might.
what do I know?
We'll see.
And then, John, you want to talk about your ice cream churro sandwiches.
Yeah. So what's the deal about those? Because I mean, anything churros is good in my world. Any kind of churros, any flavor.
Well, they're at the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
They are at Sleepy Hollow Refreshments in Liberty Square.
Okay. Are they?
So
How does that work?
they are 2 spiral churro discs with a vanilla ice cream patty sandwiched between them. So much.
So
like
it's a
you'd
churro
expect,
that's been shaped into a bun.
basically. Surprisingly, if
So,
you
isn't
Google
that-
ice cream churro sandwich, a
Yeah.
lot of people have done this before Disney. This
I mean,
is not
so-
that
Old news.
new.
A spiral churro, isn't that almost like a Cinnabon? Just minus the gooey stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but Cinnabons aren't fried dough, right?
Yeah, it's a different consistency. Your
Right.
Cinnabon and your churro.
Because you
Depends-
can't have a long churro.
depends on your churro.
Like that's like two hot dogs and then a patty.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
it wouldn't work,
picturing a circle.
Like a Cinnabon is like
Yes.
bread, right? It's like pastry bread.
Well,
A
but if
churro
you
is
like
right.
cut
a
one,
Cinnabon is it's a cinnamon roll.
all right.
It kind of looks like a
it's Cinnabon. How about it's Cinnabon shaped? But
That's
it's
right.
a churro.
But
There
it's
we
a
go.
churro.
All right.
If you seriously do a Google image search, there's like recipes for this, so you can make this at home. But does anyone want to guess what the price
Point?
is? The new Price is Right for the churro ice cream sandwich.
At Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. in
$5.99.
Liberty Square.
Don't look it up online, Carolyn.
No, I'm not. Is that the little kiosk in the middle that sells fruit? In the middle of
No, this is the one in like the building. It's not there. There's like a fruit rack.
over by the castle side.
Yeah,
where
kind of near the bridge, I think it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they've had
Okay.
like buffalo chicken waffles in the past. I think
I
Jimmy
would
just said they have a
say-
Nutella waffle.
I would pay $5.49.
All right. I said $5.99. I think.
What did you say? Okay, $5.99. All right.
Yeah.
All
And-
right, they took both of my options, so I'm going to go low and go with $4.49, which, by the way, is how much I paid for a chocolate-covered strawberry on Friday. What is wrong with me?
Strawberry?
One strawberry, yeah.
Justin guessed $101 again.
Patty says $7.50. John $8.49. Justin $6.00. Okay, what's the total?
All right.
And the
so
answer is
the answer is just lost it. $6.49.
$6.49.
Yeah. So I think you all went over actually.
I didn't. I did
No, someone
$5.99.
said $5. Oh, you said $5.99. All right.
I said
we were all
$5.49.
under
but-
here.
I think I win.
Sorry, all of our commenters won it.
Yep, you win. You're the closest.
Finally.
Maybe I'll try that. I'll try it and I'll take some pictures for you.
It only took a whole night for me to finally win one. Not bad. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed joining us tonight. We couldn't quite get in Justin. We couldn't make that Skype connection. We're going to try and figure out how we can have more than 4 people on at once. But thanks, Justin, for hanging with us on the video podcast anyway and commenting along the way. It was like you were here.
Yes.
Yeah, even though you guessed wrong in the last one.
And thank you to everybody. We had lots of viewers and we had 160 comments we're up to now.
During the show. So the nice thing about this is this will live on our Facebook page. Folks who weren't necessarily available on a Sunday night to watch it can watch it. Or if you still like doing the audio thing, we will actually put this up as part of our normal audio podcast now. So best of both worlds. I think.
And yes, Robert, yes, we are going to try and do a podcast like this whenever we can. I mean, it's kind of nice. We can show you things.
Yes, it is. So, everybody, for Jason, Cindy, Carolyn, and myself, I am still John. And this has been the INTERCOT Insider Podcast. Thanks to our sponsors, Magical Journeys and the Official Ticket Center. Give them a shout. And thanks for supporting us. And thanks for supporting the site. Visit us on the boards at intercot.com. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Bye-bye. 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 Bye now.
Bye.
So long. Okay. Bye.